Ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still not seeing any progress? You're watching all the videos, doing all the different routines, but progress, nowhere to be found. Well, a lot of people struggle with that. I did too. And now years later, looking back at my beginning, I think I know what my breakthrough was. Now, the problem wasn't the advice that I was trying to follow, it was the overload of it. There was so much fitness information online available that it feels like you need 5 different versions of yourself just to be able to follow it all. But more information doesn't always lead to better results. In fact, it can also be the opposite. You start hesitating about what to follow and you just end up being demotivated and doing nothing. Or worse, jumping from plan to plan, never sticking long enough with anything to see actual progress. It's called the paradox of choice. And basically what it means is the more options or information that you have, the harder that it becomes to choose between it. For example, the company Procter & Gamble knew this and they actually decreased the amount of Head & Shoulders shampoo variations that they made, which increased the amount of sales that they made because people just weren't so conflicted anymore. Anyways, putting this into fitness terms, I was trying to master the basics whilst also trying to expand my exercise library, doing weighted calisthenics on the side as well, which is just way too much for a beginner to handle. I was just spinning in circles, doing not enough of everything. And the shift happened when I asked myself, what do I actually need to move forward? And the answer was a lot simpler than I thought. Focus on less. And how do you do that? By picking a clear goal. Without a clear focus, every piece of advice you come across seems equally important, and that's a trap. But once you've found your focus, all the noise around it just starts to fade. I also wasn't questioning every set that I did or wondering if I was on the best plan. I was just training for my goal and progress started showing. If you purely want to build muscle, focus on continuous progressive overload. If you want to learn skills like the muscle up or the front lever, you got to pay more attention to specific technique drills for that exercise. Or if you're trying to burn calories and improve endurance and condition, well, then you can focus on high volume work or HIIT workouts, for example. It's not about what is best, but what aligns with your goals and where you are right now. That being said, most of it you'll learn on the way, but there are a few core principles that can help absolute beginners. Number one is to get progressive overload, i.e. build muscle and strength. You gotta either adjust the angle, add weights, or do harder variations of an exercise. It's kind of the equivalent of changing the weight in the gym. That's how you get stronger in calisthenics. So a bit more complicated than the gym, but still manageable if you remember these 3 things. And if you want to learn skills quick, like the muscle up or the front lever, well, you can't. So don't get too frustrated if it doesn't click immediately. The best way to approach it is to kind of analyze the movement, break it up into parts. There are millions of videos online that you can find about this. Try and watch a couple and then take the common factors, and those are probably your best bet of achieving that skill. Your normal training will complement this, but you'll also need specific drills just for that individual skill. I cannot stress this enough, master the basics. Achieve full control, clean form, and full range of motion in every foundational exercise that there is. You're not just doing them, but you have to own them, really. And the great thing about a solid foundation is that it also helps you in all the other directions as well. Everything gets easier. Weighted calisthenics, learning skills, and even endurance. Now you might be asking yourself, if I focus on just one thing, won't I lose progress in all the other things? And that's what kept bugging me as well about this. This kind of FOMO feeling, as if you're creating, well, tunnel vision. But not trying to do everything is still a lot better than running in 5 directions and ending up in the same spot as where you started. But the message that I'm just trying to give is to focus more on less. Not necessarily to hyper focus on just one thing, maybe more like a 70-30 thing. You put 70% of your efforts into your primary goal and then the other 30% to maintaining other areas. But yeah, this way you move forward in one direction without completely neglecting the other directions as well. Now for me, the 70-30 rule looks like this. I had 5 workouts in the week that I spent on building control and strength, 2 other workouts in the week that focused on skill-specific drills to learn a certain skill. So what I suggest is once you've mastered the basics, you can start tweaking that 70-30 rule however you please. But as a complete beginner, my advice is to dedicate that 70, maybe even 100% to mastering those basics. Building a solid foundation is very important. The hard truth is that the perfect plan doesn't exist. Well, actually, it only exists if you do it. Even a mediocre plan that you consistently stick to will by far outperform a perfect plan that you almost never do. The real shift happened when I stopped looking for the perfect plan and just started one that was right in front of me. And the actual doing of it has taught me so much more than any video or blog post has ever done for me. However, if you're really looking for the best program out there, link down in the description. No guesswork, no hesitation, just action. 8 weeks long, and there is a 1 week free trial to see if you actually like it. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video, is to stop looking for the perfect answer. Start now, take action, and trust that as you gain experience, you'll learn to filter what's useful and what's just pure noise. All right, that was it for this video. If it was useful, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.